Good evening. This is Duane Lowry for the DPP Grain Desk on Sunday, April 14th. It's currently about 5:15. Market's open again at 7 o'clock tonight. I'm not sure what is the primary focus, or what the primary focus should be here tonight, and I'm referring to basically this week in general. The markets can look at weather forecasts and see a very wet week this week and be concerned about that. I think there's a certain amount of focus on that. But in the same token, when you look beyond this week, the weather forecast offers some hope of returning to more normal temperatures, possibly even some warmer than normal temperatures as we get to the back end of the 2-week outlook. The forecast also dries out, and I think the trade has a generally bearish bias here, and I think they're looking at new crop possibilities, new crop balance sheet possibilities as the primary reason that they're bearish. Price action prior to last week's recovery certainly was very heavy, and that helped set the tone to be bearish in the trade as a general setting, I believe. But overall, I think the market has stabilized from the sharp break we saw at the end of March or first part of April. And I think we've defined the bottom side of parameters through probably most of the spring period, and then we're going to see how much of a rally potential we can get. Like I said, the trader sentiment's pretty bearish, and a lot of people don't think we can rally very much. I understand that, but I think that there's a lot of time between now and new crop, and to think that we're just going to immediately trade new crop bearish fundamentals and never trade anything else for the rest of the spring and summer, I think would be a bit naive. Short-term technicals, I think, will look a little bit vulnerable, that if we get some early week strength based on weather concerns and wetness for this week, I think it'll be short-lived and falter. Support in corn comes in 10-15 cents below where you finish Friday. That's about the same thing in wheat. The wheat market has a slightly different fundamental look when you look at the weather forecast. Dryness concerns continue to be in the southwestern third to half of the hard red winter wheat area. You look at the 2-week forecast, those areas are not going to see much rain. I think the wheat fundamentals will be provided for a supportive tone, if the corn manages to be a little bit higher early this week, wheat should be up as well. Resistance in wheat probably is at least 15 cents above Friday's finish. Support's probably 15 cents below it. July wheat somewhere around $7 has been support before. I would think it will continue to be support. If we get row crops to back off this week based on ideas of hope of improving weather, I think July wheat to go back below $7 will find that to be a very difficult task. So I think the wheat will be well supported. Soybeans, really, it's very difficult to get a handle on what, if anything, is driving this market from a fundamental perspective. Trader sentiment is generally bearish, I think, towards beans, but I don't think there's a lot of conviction. I don't think there's a lot of certainty in those bearish attitudes as to why they're bearish per se, other than expectations of hopefully a more plentiful new crop supply outlook. Technical conditions are mixed. I'd say a little bit vulnerable, that if we get some early weak strength in the soybean market tonight or tomorrow, I think it may falter and find it difficult to sustain that as the week evolves. But then again, if you go back down to anywhere near the recent lows, you're not going to get any downside momentum to build below those lows either. So basically what I'm describing here, I think this is going to be a sloppy week. Early week strength probably won't hold together very well based on ideas of whether it's going to improve beginning later this week and into next week and into the end of the 2-week forecast. And I think that's going to be the driving sentiment. But I think that once the market absorbs that and we maybe retest recent lows, I don't think there's going to be any downside momentum build below those either. Overall conditions, I think producers are going to find better selling opportunities for new crop than what's offered right now. I think the price action will be sloppy, but we're not going to build any significant downside momentum below recent lows at any time here during the next several weeks, I don't think. I think that the recent lows define the bottom side of parameters. And I think that the guy's just going to have to be a little patient to get better selling opportunities than where we're experiencing right now. For the DPP Grain Desk, this has been Duane Lowry. Thank you.